Hi everybody, hope that you're well, enjoying the sun coming back out for the time being, which is nice. Hopefully we'll have a nice weekend. But yeah, hi everybody, just jumped on to do a bit of a live video because one of the questions I seem to be asking a lot, being asked a lot recently is when you're first starting out wanting to start marketing yourself, your company, your brand on social media, where to start, because I think it can be quite overwhelming, to hear me say things like, make sure you've got a presence on all platforms. Follow that advice, have a presence on all platforms, but where do you start? Because ultimately what you want to be doing is you want to start, you need to get attention. You need to start getting attention. And how do you do that? Which platforms are best suited to get that attention? And this was the kind of plan that I came up with a client of mine recently, which was that you need to look at how platforms work and what they're good for. So, for example, Facebook and Instagram are actually pretty good for sales. So if you had a company whereby you were selling physical products, having something like Instagram is going to be perfect because you can post pictures of your products, and you have got a really clear call to action, which is the link in your bio to push people to be buying things. However, when you're first starting out, Facebook and Instagram are really, really difficult platforms to grow a large presence on. And that's just because of the way that the algorithm on those platforms is so sophisticated, so advanced, and so mature. And the advertising platforms are so mature as well, that Facebook and Instagram heavily rely on pushing paid adverts, and so the organic reach is not that fantastic. The search functionality also is pretty swayed towards bigger accounts, and so if you're on Instagram, for example, and to get a post, say on the explore page, where people that don't follow you may come across your content and then may choose to then go and follow you, it's really tough, really, really tough. It's even hard to get in the sort of the top section of relatively small hashtags. So those two platforms are not great for building your brand to start with. I recommend using them. Certainly have a Facebook business page, certainly have an Instagram page, and post regularly. I mean, I think I make no secret of the fact that I absolutely love Instagram, and it's something that I put a lot of time and effort. But I'm starting to realize that actually, is Instagram the place to grow a following, or should I be growing a following elsewhere and diverting people to Instagram, where they're much more likely to get in contact with me? So I'll give you two examples of two platforms that I think everyone should start with, and they might not be what you think. So the first is LinkedIn. Now, I've spoken about LinkedIn quite a lot. LinkedIn is a platform at the moment that, in terms of the way that it looks, in terms of its aesthetic and the way that it works, very similar to Facebook. The same types of content work really well. So a lot of people are really familiar with Facebook, so migrating to LinkedIn is relatively easy for a lot of people. So the types of posts that you will put on there, your 2 to 4 minute videos, your horizontal videos, they're going to work quite well. Your pictures are going to work quite well. The longer written posts work really well. And also they have an article post, which also, for those of you that maybe blog, is going to be really, really beneficial for you. Little tip on that: when you write an article, you can actually embed videos in there as well. So you can utilize various different types, even in a blog, in terms of your content. So LinkedIn has incredible organic reach. Its advertising platform is not very good, and therefore it pushes really good quality organic content really far and wide, and it won't take you that long. You can have 0 connections on LinkedIn, and you can create a post that's seen by thousands, if not tens of thousands of people relatively easily. It's a very, very easily searchable platform. So when you do hit the search bar, you can really compartmentalize your search criteria really, really easily. You can look at employees of a certain in a certain company. You can look at job roles, all this kind of things. So the search capabilities on LinkedIn are fantastic, and it's made for people to be able to search easily. Effectively, when it first started out, it was kind of a recruitment database, let's be honest. So the search functionality on there is fantastic, and that's really good when you're starting out, because it means people will be able to find you easily, especially if you use hashtags that are trending, that people will see, and they'll come up on their feed. The other great thing as well, which used to be the case on Facebook but isn't anymore, is that when somebody else interacts with your post, their audience is likely to see that. So even if they just like it, it's still going to show up. And you've probably gone through your feed sometimes and you're just going through anything, and I don't know any of these people. I'm not connected with any of these people. But what you'll actually see at the top is that it says John Smith, who's your connection, has liked it. So all they need to do is like it. They just need to be scrolling along, that looks interesting, like that. Their audience is then going to see it. So if you produce a piece of content and somebody likes that, lots of people on their audience are going to see it. So the more you post on LinkedIn, the better at the moment. And I highly recommend putting together a strategy to try and post as much as you possibly can and mix up your content. Get videos on there, get visual posts on there, get written posts on there, and utilize the article feature if you're a bit of a wordsmith and you like to create longer written blogs. So you've got that. Great LinkedIn, great searchable platform. If you shout loud on there, you're going to get noticed and you're going to build your connection base. The other one is YouTube. Now, for those that don't know, YouTube is owned by Google. And apart from Google, YouTube is the biggest search engine on the planet. More searches occur on YouTube than do on Bing and on Yahoo, which are the next biggest search engines in terms of actual meant to be search engines under Google. Now, also, because Google owns YouTube, of course, it wants to push people to YouTube. And as a result, by posting videos to YouTube, not only can your content be found on YouTube by people actually being on the platform and searching, how to get my first buy-to-let mortgage. That's something that I, make sure I have in my keywords, because a lot of people search for that. But if somebody searches for that on Google, chances are they may well be diverted to your video as well. So getting into the habit of creating 6 to 12 minute videos that can be posted onto YouTube, and doing that as many times in a week as you can. Keep it regular. At the moment, I'm just doing once a week because I'm trying to keep it regular, but I want to increase that. You will be not only creating something that's very, very professional, because YouTube channels are deemed to be quite a professional thing to have, but again, if you're using the keywords correctly, if you're using hashtags correctly, and if you're creating half decent content, you're going to get found. And people comment, they share. People share stuff on YouTube quite readily, and so it's really, I would urge anyone that's just starting out to consider YouTube as a platform for creating content for their brand. So where do we go from there? So obviously, I would say start with those two. Make sure that you've got across the board, but start with those two. What can we do then to start pushing people from those two platforms maybe onto other platforms? Maybe we've got a podcast that we want them to go and listen to. We want them to go and follow our Instagram page, because that's where we might be able to utilize the direct message feature a little bit better on Facebook, on Facebook Messenger. Well, I'll cover that on another video, because I don't want to go into detail on that, because it is actually quite a big thing. It's all about having a strategy that connects all of the platforms. But I wanted to come on today and talk to you about which two platforms I would choose if I was starting from scratch right now, and which ones I would start with to start building my brand even. So hopefully that was really, really helpful. Hopefully you took something from that. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So please comment below, let me know. Share this with anyone that you think it's going to be beneficial for. And if you don't want to put any comments, you want to message me privately, please do. I'm absolutely 100% happy to answer any questions that you've got on this and start a wider conversation. Also, don't forget to go over and follow me on Instagram at @TheSamNorris. And if you want to DM me on there as well, more than happy to have a chat. But for now, enjoy the sun. Hopefully you're having a really, really good, awesome week, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers, guys. See you later.